video here.
Professor Kshitij, have you joined? Can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I'm joined.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Very welcome to you. So, a very warm welcome and a pleasant good evening to everyone present here. Welcome to the third day of our faculty development program on inner transformation for outer excellence and skill and teaching. Over the past 2 days, we have experienced truly enriching session that beautifully connected professional excellence with self-awareness, leadership, and Indian knowledge system. Today as well, we are privileged to have distinguished resource persons who will further deepen our understanding of culture, communication, values, and timeless wisdom embedded in our Indian traditions. So we would like to introduce Professor Kshitij Patukale. It is now my proud privilege while introducing him. Professor Patukale is a founder of Bhishma Sanatan Vedic Hindu University,
Alone,
America,
Babu.
and Bhishma
Sadak,
School of
साढ़े छह हो गए
Indian
बच्चे
Knowledge
फिर तो कहना
System,
मैंने
Pune.
उठाया नहीं
I would like to request one of the participant with the name Harneet, I think. It is Harneet, if I'm not wrong. Harneet Kaur. Harneet Kaur, can you please mute yourself? Harneet Kaur, can you
हाँ
please
श्योर मैम
mute yourself? Yeah, please, ma'am. I was introducing Professor Patukale. He is multifaceted personality known for his deep commitment toward the preservation and promotion of Sanatan Vedic knowledge tradition and Indian knowledge system. An economist, author, speaker, researcher, curriculum designer, entrepreneur, and social worker, Professor Kshitij has dedicated his life to spreading the richness of Bharat's culture, wisdom, and value system. His philosophy of life beautifully reflects continuous learning, selflessness, humility, and devotion toward humanity and the nation. Through his work as a trainer, consultant, and thought content creator, he continues to inspire people to reconnect with India's glorious heritage traditions and spiritual wisdom in a meaningful and practical manner. Sir, we are truly honored to have you with us today. And I now humbly invite Professor Kshitij to kindly address the participants and share his valuable insight. Professor Kshitij, it's over to you, sir, now.
Namaste. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Definitely, we can
I,
hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm using this team for the first time in my life, so I'm not able to. Just a second, na. Ek- Uh, where that gone? Hey, Vedant. Hey, Vedant, तू इकडे ये. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Definitely, we
Yes,
can hear
sir.
you.
But I'm not able to. हे काय झालं बघ याला कुठे गेली मीटिंग
So what happened? You are not able to hear us or you are not
Yeah,
able to see the screen?
I'm not able to see the screen.
Okay, you can do one thing. On the right hand side, you will be able to see a banner kind of thing. Just double click on that.
Just a second. Ah, yes. No.
Yes.
Sorry for
Okay, okay.
inconvenience. Namaste.
Namaste,
Thanks a
sir.
lot.
नमस्कार
We can see you now, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers. I had been referred by Dr. Kalurkar sir, Shikanji Kalurkar, and he told me about this activity. And I'm very happy to discuss and share my views and my ideas with you. My topic, which is for this session, is challenges incorporating Indian knowledge system IKS in this contemporary knowledge system of today. So regarding this, I will share some of my thoughts, some experiences, some of my very strong desires which I am talking about. So regarding that, I will discuss with you. So initially, I thank all the people who are organizers. They are doing a great job. Now, regarding, I would not like to mention anything about NEP 2020 and Indian knowledge system and how it has been incorporated as per NEP 2020 and across India. Now, this is, I think, 6 years since this NEP has been introduced, and now we are experiencing. There is a great, I believe, there is a great something we can say as a IKS wave all over the world, all over India. Of course, it will be all over the world also, but initially now, right now, it is all over India, we can say, and IKS is a buzzword of today. So everybody is talking about IKS, and we want to do something about IKS. As you all are aware that government is insisting about means Ministry of Education is insisting, UGC is insisting about introducing Indian knowledge system. The great ridiculous thing which we can say that since our independence, we have not entertained or we have not studied or we have not given proper attention to our own knowledge system, our own knowledge tradition. It happened like that. It was a narrative was set up. I don't know who has set up, but the system. And let us not blame anybody, because many times we find that we are having great experts who talk about the problems, who define the problem, and they blame someone for the problems. But we have to have focus and concentrate on how we can find the solutions for the. So it was a narrative that was set up. It is something like that. Whatever Indian knowledge is there, that whole Indian knowledge is related to only spirituality, or it is related to karma kanda, or it is related to Purana, which is also unfortunately it was described as a mythology in our country. So that way, the whole Indian knowledge or Bharatiya knowledge that was kept aside, and it was told, and it was strongly this message was spread across the country and since independence, that this knowledge is not at all related with our life. It is not having any applications in day to day life. So let us neglect it. It is not required to study it, and it is means many times people say it is hopeless or it is useless or something like that, and we must follow the Western knowledge system or whatever West is doing. We have to focus on that. So there is no use, not necessity. One any person who want to understand or learn it, he may learn it after retirement, after the age of 60 or after the age of 70, when he's going to end his life or he is toward the end of his life. Then he should study all these things because it does not have any importance. Such a very wrong narrative was set up about Indian knowledge system, and now we really see the whole world is facing so many challenges. Means so many crises are there all over the world. We see the great American dream that has come to me. It is falling like anything, and whatever is happening in Europe, if we except 2 3 countries, Germany, France, or uh, and maybe one or two more, all European countries, they are going towards bankruptcy, and whatever is happening in the world. And of course, we are facing the great challenge of AI, artificial intelligence, as well as there are wars are going on. There are global warming. The challenge of global warming is such a huge, the challenge of terrorism, the challenge of this poisonous food, whatever we are taking, the pollution, means it is not only air pollution, but it is also, we see that sound pollution and other, means I always say that there is a emotional and intellectual pollution also across the globe, and there are so many challenges. So the whole Western knowledge system, which we have set up as a very ideal knowledge, or the only knowledge which can help the world, that whole knowledge has taken all of us to a stage of disaster. We are going towards disaster, and at this stage, government has taken this decision somewhere. Means you all are aware about the committee was formed under Dr. Kasturi Rangan, and this after their suggestions, this. National education policy. Initially, it was said new education policy, and then it was described as a national education policy. It was renamed as a national education policy, and it has been introduced step by step across the country. And now we are, means we see that Indian knowledge system is a buzzword. People want to know it. People want to understand it. People want to make the application and how it can be useful for facing all these challenges, not only in India but out of the India also. So that way, this IKS has been introduced, and we are talking about that. And I'm very happy in this faculty development program. This is a very good initiative because at right now, means I have met more than 160 vice chancellors in last 5 6 years, and lot many people who are engaged in this academic sector with various colleges and universities, etc., etc. And I found that there is a great confusion about the idea of IKS among all these classes. There may be few exceptions. Means I was talking this to Dr. Kalurkar also many times. So there is a great confusion. People don't have the exact idea, exact induction about IKS that has not been done. So that is a big challenge now the whole academia is facing. So initially, I would like to say that we have to understand the basic thing of IKS. Means regarding when we say it, means there is a conflict between the two words also, India and Bharat. So when we talk or when we say it is India or it is Indian, we can go maximum to 150 or 200 years back, maybe up to start of the 18th century. Means you all are aware that in 18th century when this Union Jack, that English that England, this
Sir, uh, Professor Kshitij, your mic got muted, sir. Can you please unmute yourself?
yeah. So you all are aware that this Indian when we means I think some part it was unmuted. I will repeat this point again. So when we talk about when we say the word India, we limit ourselves to maximum 200 years or maximum 300 years from today. But when we talk about Bharat, when we say a word as a Bharat, then we can think, we can talk, and we can get associated, get connected ourselves with this legacy of the maybe thousands of years or lakhs of years. We don't know. Nobody is able to define it. So therefore, I think there is a means while studying about IKS or talking about IKS, one thing we have to make very clear with us that whatever we say Indian, whatever we say that is Bharatiya, whatever we say that is Sanatan, whatever we say that is Vedic, whatever we say that is Aryan, whatever we say that is Oriental, whatever we say that is Asian, you name it by any name, but that all knowledge is basically Indian knowledge, and that all knowledge is one and same. So we should think, we should talk about all these things while considering the knowledge of IKS. So the foundation of IKS means what is the purpose of education? Why education is needed? Right now we see that this education is, we are outsourcing this education activity. In ancient India, it was not like that. You might have heard the name of this idea of 14 Vidya and 64 Kala. 14 Vidya or 64 Kala. So that was the foundation of the education. Swami Vivekananda has very nicely described it as a education is a manifestation of perfection already within a man. So a teacher or a guide, he is just helping him to understand it. So that was the process of education, and education was not outsourced to the schools and colleges. And it was not something like that when I am putting my son or daughter, our children into schools and colleges, I am sending them and I am giving them whatever minimum their requirements. I am fulfilling those requirements. So my responsibility is over. It was not the thought in ancient India. Ancient India, there was an education system, we can say there was a Parivara Shiksha, there was a Gurukul Shiksha, there was Acharya Shiksha, there was Vishesha Shiksha, there was a Stri Shiksha, there was a Sanskara Shiksha, there was a Samaj Shiksha, there was what we can say is a temple Shiksha, Mandir Shiksha. There was a sanskara shiksha. So it was a process. We always say that life is a continuous learning process. You must have heard about
Sir, your mic again got mute, sir.
don't know why it is and how, because I'm not touching him. I think I'm more than 8 inches away from it. Anyhow, so you might have heard the name of Dharmapalji. So Dharmapalji, he has written and published 10 volumes about ancient Indian systems, various, how this means he prepared all this. He was there in London, in Britain, and he visited lot many libraries and he did a research of the reports and surveys sent by the British officers in that when they were ruling in India. And by studying this, he has prepared and published these 10 volumes. In that, there is a very beautiful, there is a one very beautiful volume. The name of that volume is Beautiful Tree. In that, he has described that when Machiavelli prepared the first of his report in 1835, he found that there were more than 3 lakh gurukuls in India. Means at that time India was having this Afghanistan, Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. They all were part of India, and there were around 3 lakh gurukuls. And there were special education facilities for women. There were special education, and all sects of the society from all castes, they were taking education in that system. So such system was there. And India is, we all are aware, we are a knowledge based society. We are having a philosophy. We say that why we need it. Whole society must get educated. That is our basic idea. We talk that कृणवंतु विश्वम आर्यम, सभी को हमको आर्य बनाना है, सभी को हमको शिक्षित करना है, शिक्षा देनी है. इस प्रकार से मीन्स दैट वाज द आइडिया. जस्ट रिसेंटली, आई थिंक 3-4 days back, I was there in Chinmay Mission conference at Kochi. So that one word I liked very much. I would like to utter that ki now we see all students, all people, they are educated in colleges and universities. Swami Chinmayananda called them, they are illiterate. They have taken education in these universities, but they are illiterate. So that way, while making the definition of IKS, I'm talking about the challenges of incorporating IKS in contemporary education systems. So these are the basic, we were having the basic idea of education. What is the purpose of education? The purpose of is those 14 vidyas which we talk, that 14 vidyas, they are total, means you must be aware there are 4 Ved, 4 Upavedas are there, 6 Vedangas. Then Dharma Shastra, Itihas, Purana, etc., etc. Some people call it 18 Vidya, 14 Vidya or 18 Vidya. So those Vidyas, they were the philosophy of the whole education system. The idea of life, the idea of lifestyle, living, how to live a life, how to manage a life, means we are talking about now in the so-called modern management education, we see that it is totally capitalistic people dominated ideas. The maximization of profit is the only motto of this modern education, management education I am talking about, which is taught in IIMs or maybe in many other colleges and universities. The agenda is only maximization of the profits. But in our idea, the Indian management, because this is I'm giving an example, we say that Sarva Jana Hitaya, Sarva Jana Sukhaya, or Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina is the basic idea, the foundational idea of Indian knowledge system. So that way, when education was incorporated or education was delivered in all these schools, the basic idea was a student should understand what is purpose, why he is taking the education, and what is the use of it, how he will use it. Means when a student was coming out of a gurukul at the age of 18 or 20 or 25, whatever, there were a lot of types of gurukuls where there were people who were interested in teaching and means they want to have own adhyayan and adhyapan. They were living little longer in those schools. But people who are interested in various trainings of guilds like karagiri, crafting, so there were separate schools for that. Out of any of these gurukul, when student was coming out, he was having a clear idea about his life. He was having the clear idea about his varna. His varna means swabhav. What is his behavioral pattern? Behavioral pattern of a person is called as a varna. So then he was able to identify, yes, I am Brahman, or I am Kshatriya, or I am Vaishya, or I am Shudra, whatever. So he was having a clear idea about his behavioral pattern. Then he was having a clear idea about life. We have divided this life in as in four parts: Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and Sannyas ashram. And the goal of life with these four Purushartha, the idea of Purushartha we talk, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So he was having a clear idea, clear vision about what education he has taken, what is the goal of his life, goal of the life of every person. It was said that Nishreyas Abhyudaya. Nishreyas Abhyudaya, this means that I will gain everything. I will grow, I will develop my life, my personal, individual life, familiar life, whatever. I will develop in totality in a material comfort. Whatever I want, I should get. Abhyudaya. Along with that, I will have Nishreyas. Nishreyas is that means whatever I will do, I will get after my death also, after I am not here on this earth also, I will get means the idea of death. And now this is a very famous and popular topic. It is a buzzword in Western and developed world right now. The idea of death and dying. So in that way, means they don't understand what is the, because they think that there is only one life. And we say that this is a voyage from one life to life, means जन्म जन्मों का प्रवास, इस तरीके से हम इसको देखते हैं. So that way every person was having an idea of Nishreyas Abhyudaya. I think right now whatever we are talking about IKS, and IKS has been introduced in this academia, in this academic field, what we see, I think we are basically missing with this fundamental idea. Unfortunately, with I'm talking with many people, and you all people also must have seen whatever the notification circulars of UGC regarding implementation IKS. We say that we see that very unfortunately we see that it is science dominated only. Means we just want to see whether there is a scientific aspect or scientific some knowledge which we can convert into startups or some big things, and only that we are limiting unfortunately IKS for scientific reasons only, scientific knowledge only. I think this is really a great problem, great challenge, and we must understand. Means whenever I am getting up in the means we are getting up in the morning, and when we say Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamade Saraswati, or in the when we are taking our food, and when we say that Om Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi Brahmagno Brahmana, that everything is a part of IKS. I guess it should not be only science setting. We just should not talk only about mathematics and geometry and whatever there is means regarding physics, etc. Beyond that, we are not going. So I think that is a big challenge. And whatever there are programs they are getting uploaded, or Swayam also and IIT, IIMs, they are preparing many programs, but they are limited only to the scientific way only. So I think it is a great problem, and we are only thinking about the applications of this IKS in some profitable way or in some monetary benefits only. We are looking for that. I think this is a very big challenge right now, and we have to understand it. IKS, one has to understand very in a very perfect way. He tried to study what are the basic ideas of the IKS. So regarding that, this means I see, means personally I feel that this is a very good initiative taken by government or taken by UGC and all these things. So this is, at least we have started doing talking about these things, and people are trying to understand all these things. But means you are aware that 5% of credits now, as per NEP, 5% of the credit every student has to take from IKS. That is the basic idea. And therefore, government is asking to all these colleges and universities to prepare a IKS department. There should be IKS coordinator and all these things, whatever we are doing. But there is something I think we are not confident. Government is not confident about talking or about imparting this IKS knowledge with 100% confidence, 100% conviction. It is not there. I don't know, means I think it will be little hard to say, but there is a great burden of the idea of secularism, and therefore we are very much puzzled about the word of IKS and about the what IKS we want to. We just say that, means थोड़ा डर डर के, थोड़ा getting scared हमसे कि this is IKS, ये आप करो, ये this is also student should know this, he should have information about this, whatever is there, he has to. The only way for growth in his life is only modern education system. But a 5% you just try for this IKS, just have awareness of. So I think that is what I can say. Means this is a really a big problem. We are in a very much dilemma. So that way, means strongly, means I'm talking with many faculties, with Dr. Kalurkar sir also, that when there was not a system of education in technology sector, means our education system was not prepared, or it was not having any system of giving proper education of technology, then with a special act of government we form IITs, Indian Institute of Technology. Then when we were not having any educational system, proper educational system to teach management, then we all built this Indian Institute of Management, IIMs were formed. Then similarly, there are few other examples. Recently, I think 2-3 years back, this Central Sanskrit University was formed with a special aid. So on the same line, I strongly believe that we should have a separate institution which will teach 100% about the Indian knowledge system. So this, because of all this burden and all these things, I think there is a problem. There are a lot many hurdles and barriers we see in incorporating this IKS. Now, what has happened? We all are, means we, means not specifically to this platform, but I say that why IKS is getting introduced, why lot many colleges they are organizing these seminars, why they are talking about these IKS. It is only because government has made it compulsory. Government is saying that yes, IKS you have to do this. 5% credits you have to prepare. You have to take some. You have to start some activities under UGC guidelines. Also, NAC is also saying that if you want to have marks, then you must have some IKS activities in your college or in your university. Only because of that we are doing IKS, also IKS related activity. Here I want to argue very much that we have to understand it very calmly, cautiously, and firmly, that whatever the problems and crises the whole world is facing right now, the only answer is Indian knowledge system. We have to take Indian knowledge system in this way. We have to study it very deeply, and we have to understand it, only ancient Indian knowledge system is having answer, is having solutions for the world crisis. And with that confidence, with that zeal and zest, we should do the activities in the IKS related areas. I think that is the real challenge. We have to understand the importance, the applications, the usefulness. Means I believe that you all people, all learned people who are joining this conference, this meeting, this webinar. So I'm sure that we all are aware about these problems, and maybe after 5 years, 10 years, means I very many a times I say that there is a problem of the very existence of human race. Whatever we are eating, whatever means regarding those problems I already talked. Means that may be global warming and whatever poisonous food we are eating, means there are all social systems are they are getting totally, means as a very disastrous way we are facing these challenges and we are becoming helpless. We don't know what to do. We don't understand. There are no answers. Means just for a sake of example, we take the medicine as allopathy. Allopathy, we believe now it has been told, this narrative has been said that medication is only allopathy. And allopathy, what means? Oh, profit is the only ideology before behind this allopathy and whatever is happening. So that way, every means many a time that every person who is educated in this modern system, he become a looter. He become a looter of the system, and he don't means he is like Amartya Sen says that he becomes so argumentative only. He talk a lot, but he just talk about himself. He don't think as a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, as a whole whole nation as a whole or whole universe as a whole. I think that is a great problem. Means I would like to share with you. We did around I think 1.5 years back. I did one experiment. We prepare a proposal of developing IKS clubs. IKS clubs in all colleges. So under Pune University, there are in 4 districts. We contacted around more than I think 1,200 to 1,500 colleges are there. So we wrote a letter. One of our representative met all these colleges, their management, their principals, and they told them that this is as per it is a compulsory, and because you are not having the proper guidance about IKS, we will help you. We will have 1 or 2 sessions every week. We will help you to develop a library, IKS library in your institute. We will have some conference once in a year. Then we will organize some seminars, webinars, something like that. So that proposal we gave, I'm very means very feeling very pity that hardly 2 or 3 colleges shown interest. And when we said that there will be some fees you are required to give us, so they said, means we are, I don't remember exact, but I think we asked for some 25,000 rupees per year. Not a single college came out. Nobody took it. They said, no, 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 no. We don't have any money. Means the management at that taking so many funds, monetary benefits from all the system. They are not ready to spend a single penny for IKS. Whatever is spent is government, is AICT, UGC is giving. They are giving funds. Then only we will do these activities. That mindset is a very great challenge. And the approach. Means I met once one VC in Gujarat. He was the vice chancellor of very famous university. I will not take the name. So when I was talking to him, he said that why you are asking honorarium for taking taking these lectures? Our this everything was free. Our education was free. Gurukula education was free. Why you are asking for money or what? Why you are asking for an honorarium? I was so shocked. I asked him why you are sitting there on that seat. You do this free work. Why you are not doing this? Means such an approach, such an attitude still about Indian knowledge system. Means for English medium schools and all other things, we will spend lakhs of rupees. But for Indian knowledge system, we will not spend anything. I think it is a process. I am sure that we will overcome from this process also, or the present situation. But this approach, this attitude towards this, that is also a very problem. Then many things I think that the real challenge is that college and universities, they think that IKS is a burden on them. So already the faculty members and all other things, or teaching staff, they are already busy in lot many activities, not only academic activities, but other activities are also there. So they think that, Arre baap re, now IKS has come. Now who will take this responsibility? But then it is something like that, a teacher or a professor who does not have, he has some limited work and he has some time, then IKS department or IKS activity is given to him, and then he take it as a burden or as a liability, and he says, okay, let me complete whatever. Means, there may be 100% exceptions, but because of this approach, means they are not understanding it, and there are lot many crises in implementing these IKS thing. Now, one more very important thing is that IKS is a very big topic, very big subject. The scope of IKS is so big and so huge. But AICT last week only, as I told you, I was in Kochi. This Ganti Murthy was with me. He was sharing dice with me. So at that time we were discussing. So I was telling him that how will you think that by giving a training of 3 days or 5 days or 6 days, maybe independent training, faculty development program, or that Madan Mohan Malviya teacher training program or something like that, those activity, by imparting a training of 3 days or 5 days or 6 days, do you think a faculty, though it is that faculty is so learned, how it will be able to understand IKS? How they will have the in and outs, how they will have in-depth knowledge about IKS? I think that is also very miserable thing, and people are just completing it because it is compulsory by the government or something, government or UGC, and therefore people are doing so. So I think these are very important, means very great challenges which we are facing when we are trying to incorporate these IKs. So now these are the means, as I already told, that we are always talking about the problems only, and we are defining the problems. But what are the solutions? So in the last part of my talk, I will say about this solution is that one thing we have to understand, that IKS is, it is not something like a rocket science, or it is not something what we can say it is a something which one cannot be able to understand. We need to study very deeply. We need to spare our valuable time. We need to give some time. That time may be 1 year or 2 year or 3 years, something. But we have to give a proper time to study IKS, the concepts of the IKS, the ideas of the IKS. And then we have to properly list out. I mean, this can be done on an individual level, individual faculty level, or any person, any who is interested in doing this, or at a university level, a groups level. Now, lot many groups are there who are working related to IKS. They have to understand it. Means many times when I think about IKS and what is the potential in IKS, I strongly believe that there is a more than 100 unicorn companies can be set up in the field of IKS. I will just give one example. Now we develop a course on storytelling. So that was a 6 months course, and we developed that course, and it was having a very good response. So what happened after completing that course? One of our student, she came to visit our office, and when I met her, she told that some of her relative, she has started giving, telling stories every day. So every day in the evening, in the night, something 8:30 or 9 to 9:30 or 9 to 9:40 p.m. every day, she is telling stories to the students whoever people are interested to join that, like Zoom or this Microsoft Team or whatever. Google Meet is there, and she started telling stories. And now you will wonder that she was telling stories. Initially, some 50, 60 students join, and children join, we can say. And after a period of 6 months, more than 500 people join to listen those stories for only 40 minutes in a night. Then she asked everyone to she asked for some monetary benefit. She said that please pay me 100 rupees per month. And you will wonder that out of those number 500, 600, whatever the number, 80% people paid her. So by paying, by giving us, telling a story for 40 minutes or 1 hour, we can say, she was earning around 40-50,000 rupees. Then now one of our student is developing an idea about a Bhishma storytelling project, where we really dream that we can tell these stories to maybe few crore students every day. So that idea can be scale up, it can be a startup, and it can be scale up like anything. And it is not necessarily only that children will listen the story, the parents of the children, they will listen because the great challenge is that parents are also disconnected. Husband and wife both are running towards some of their job or their profession, whatever activity they are doing, and they have not been given training about this ancient. There are stories from Panchatantra, stories from Hitopadesha, stories from Kathakalpata. So right, and so many sectors are there which can be scale up like unicorn companies. And they will not only, like Prime Minister had recently talked about games, Indian games. He said that you develop Indian games, that may be online games or whatever. So we were working about on a project called project about an ancient Indian game called as a Ganjifa. So lot many such things I think we can do. So the people who want really devote their life, or they want to really, means forget about devoting life, in a monetary way also, we think the people who want to excel their career in Indian knowledge system is 100% a wave, what we can say. We are in a very initial stage of this, but in next 25, 30, 40 years, we will find that there will be a great demand across the globe. It may be Indian knowledge system, it may be Sanatan knowledge system, Hindu knowledge system, whatever you call it. So that way we must be serious about understanding, having a deep study of IKS, understanding its potential, and of course these solutions. Now the whole world, at one way we are talking that we will go to Mars and we will go to Moon and we will have our communities there and we will stay there, something like that. But I don't know. Means it is good that what is this name? Tesla, this Tesla man or Twitter man, X, he is trying to set up SpaceX, what of his company is there. So the richest man in the world today, they are thinking that they will be able to go and do some activities on other like Mars and Moon, etc. But I think we are not able to talk about that right now. But sincerely, we have to understand that the whole world is facing so many challenges. So the challenges that we need to understand, study deeply, I guess. Second thing which great is happening, that because of this initiative, whatever is happening at college level, university level, institutional level, about that I have discussed. My talks may be little hard, but it is a fact, and I have seen it many at many places. But another thing which is happening very nicely is that young generation is taking a lot many interest with help of social media. It may be a Twitter, it may be Facebook, whatever we see. And with help of this WhatsApp university, let people curse WhatsApp university or whatever, but still there is a lot of curiosity about Indian knowledge system, ancient ideas of life, and what is the real goal of life. Lot many such things are happening, and the huge mass, they find that yes, means regarding Bhishma, I would take 2 minutes to tell you about Bhishma. We started our activity before NEP was launched, and we have more than 10,000 students. Initially, our mother organization is Bhishma Foundation for Bharatiya Knowledge System. We started Bhishma School of Indian Knowledge System. More than 10,000 students completed our courses, and around 1,000 students completed master courses. We have started doctorate courses also, postdoctorate courses also. We are now coming up with certificate courses. We are coming up with capsule courses also. People are very much interested. Means regarding, I would like to share one experience. We launched this IKS program, master program of 2 years. Around, I think, 500, 600 students completed it. But now I feel that when we come with IKS, the thali of IKS, and there are 14 Vidyas, 64 Kalas, and there is a science, there is a philosophy, there is a Sthapatya, there is a literature, there is a nrutya, dance, Indic health therapies, etc., etc. Students or people get frightened, they scared. They think that, Arre baap re, IKS is such big, so I have to learn all these things, I have to understand. So therefore they little hesitate to join. So therefore we are coming up with 1 week course that I call it as a capsule course or tablet course, something like that. And we are also having certificate course. I think this technology is a big benediction. Means because of this technology only right now we are able to communicate with each other. So this technology is helping us to expand about this awareness and education and literacy about Indian knowledge system in the masses. So though the situation is like this, it is confused at one level. I think it was required at the end of at the means on behalf of UGC and Education Ministry. I think that they should have taken proper care before for developing the foundational idea of IKS before introducing and implementing it. But I think they must have there some observations for doing this. They must have there some understanding. But I think so problem is there and we have to face this problem. So right, let us have these things also in mind, that there is a great awareness regarding our 10,000 students. I would like to tell you that average age of our student is maybe 40 to 45 of years, means the uh, uh, age is ranging from 25 to 32, maybe around 78, 80 also. So those way students are coming. So whole society means, as I told earlier, I was talking about Samaj Shiksha. It is not only school or university or college shiksha. Through Samaj Shiksha, people want to know, people want to understand what were these concepts. And we all are aware that India it was such a great country that Columbus or Vasco da Gama, they came out of Europe to find only India only. Because it was a belief that it is the most developed and सबसे समृद्ध, जहां से सोने का धुआं निकलता था, इस प्रकार का एक ही सिविलाइजेशन सनातन. सनातन का मतलब सबसे पुरातन फिर भी नित्य नूतन. It is applicable today also. So that way we have to think, and people want to understand. They want to know what has happened to this country in last couple of thousand years. What are the problems? So I think this is also a good point, and it will help for revitalization of Indian knowledge system. But this is a hard work. As our one of the mentor and advisor Rajiv Malhotra, he is saying that we need intellectual warriors. We need क्षत्रिय intellectual बौद्धिक क्षत्रिय हमको चाहिए. They must be able to understand, and with very confidence, with logic, whatever research we are doing with Indian knowledge system, we were supported by strong evidence. We have to. So there are a lot many challenges we are facing, but I think there is a great hope and there is a great future for this Indian knowledge system, and we have to take it in spirit. We should not take it only because as a pressure, or as government has compelled it, therefore we are doing that approach. We need to change. So that way I think there is a great future, and at a faculty development program which has been organized by this institution, I really appreciate your efforts. And I think some focus will, maybe it will not happen in a day. It will take its own time. Lot many such debates and discussions are required, and we need to prepare. Means we need to make a lot many experiments also. Every experiment will not be 100%. Means what has been destroyed in last thousands of years or couple of thousands of years, let us say 1,000 years. So it will not change in 5 years or 2 years. Means I always say ki one Modi will not help us. We need 1 lakh Modi or something like that. Forget about politics and everything. So it may take 50 years or 100 years to redevelop it, to regain that educational superiority which we were having. But I guess it has started the way, and we are on the way. We have started walking. Though the pace is slow, but there is 100% very huge future. And we have to understand this. We have to be very patient. We have to be very disciplined, and we have to be very honest. And then we have to walk very firmly on this path of IKS, not for individual benefit or commercial benefit, but it is for a society as a whole, or a nation as a whole, or Vishwa, the whole world, universe as a whole. And I think this we all are slowly marching toward that. That is a very good sign, and I'm very confident. And I think the whole the whatever that cosmic powers are there, you call them Ishwar or God. Means at Bhishma we believe that this is a Ishwari karya. What we are doing is not, it is not a professional activity. We are also supplemented our activities with the practical experiences. We are organizing Shraut Somayag Yajna. Bhishma has taken a place to organize 108 Somayag Yajna. So Bhishma or whatever our universities or educational institutes should not be only an organizations which are giving education and giving certification. So these are not merely certification bodies. We have to prove the applications of this knowledge. So that means we say that at Bhishma we say that we are not interested to develop scholars or very learned people in the field of IKS. We are basically interested in developing and improving the literacy level, the awareness level about Indian knowledge system in young generation. We all are know that 70% of our population, so it is around maybe 90 crore of our population is below 35. So that population which is going to maybe, or not maybe, I am 100% sure, that population is going to conquer the whole world. And they will not conquer like Hitler, or they will not conquer like Churchill. They will conquer like Sri Ram or Sri Krishna or whatever we say. What are our Indian heroes, Bharatiya आदर्श जो है उनके तरीके. So this is our great responsibility. Bhishma's idea that we want to improve the awareness about that, we want to improve literacy level about that, and these all efforts, everyone means everyone is doing Ishwari Karya. You at your level, every individual at their own level, college, UGC, university, everyone is taking. Means I say that IKS is not limited to only faculty members or colleges or only academic sector. A rickshaw wala, a vegetable vendor, every person of the society is related to IKS. He will contribute for the IKS. We have to educate them. We have to tell them, you are having such a great legacy. You are a part of this such great legacy. I think this will help for again getting Bharat as a Vishwa Guru, Bharat as a Vishwa Vijay, Bharat as a Samruddha Bharat, and that way we will lead the whole thing in a very spiritual way and with the spirit which India is always having. I again thank you all for listening me quietly, and I would again like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my views. Namaste.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session. And really, it was an interesting session on challenges in incorporating Indian knowledge system in contemporary knowledge system. So your thoughts beautifully highlighted the importance of reconnecting the modern education with the timeless wisdom of Indian traditions, while also addressing the practical challenges of integrating IKS into today's academic and professional framework. And before we wind up Professor Kshitij's session, I would like to ask all the participants if they are having any kind of query. Then Professor Kshitij is here to answer all the questions, all the queries. You can type the query in the chat box, and he can answer all the queries. So participants, if you are having any kind of doubt and any kind of question, then you may please raise your hand and you may ask. Otherwise, we will be ending the session because we are having the back-to-back sessions today.
Yeah, I think this Kalurkar, sir.
Yeah, namaste.
Shrikant
I
sir,
think,
welcome
no,
you, sir.
yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, his PhD program is very unique. And I think you are the only organization in the country who has thought of starting a PhD, doctoral and postdoctoral program in IKS. So any faculty member who is thinking of working in this further, we can take the benefit of the current facility of
Yeah.
maybe
Shrikant
doctorate
sir,
and then especially the postdoctoral program.
Yeah. Yes,
Shrikant
sir.
sir, I
Yes.
will, Kalurkar sir, I will definitely share your, like, you shared the prospectus with me. I will be definitely sharing this with
Yeah.
all the participants. And I really like the idea of IKS library. It is something like, we never thought of it. So it is like if एक जैसे लोग मिलेंगे तो हम शायद कुछ कर पाएंगे इस भारत के लिए.
Yes. Yes. Today's time is such that it means the people who want to really do the parakrama, there is a great opportunity for them who want to study, who want to work hard. I think this current situation is like a great opportunity.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you so much. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for sharing your wisdom, experience, and valuable perspective with us. Thank you. Thank you once again for making this session truly meaningful and thought provoking, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And now we
Namaste.
move ahead to the, yes, sir. So now we move ahead to the next insightful session of the day. It's my privilege to introduce Assistant Professor Amisha Parmar, an academician and researcher specializing in English studies, Indian knowledge system, cultural studies, literature, cinema studies, and communication skills. She is currently serving at Marathwada Mitra Mandal College of Engineering, Pune, where she teaches communication skills, professional communication, and Indian culture and civilization. She also serves as the faculty in charge of Indian knowledge system, actively promoting Indian culture, traditions, and indigenous knowledge frameworks. Ms. Parmar is currently pursuing her PhD from Symbiosis International University, Pune, with the research focused on Indian mythology, culture, and pedagogy aligned with IKS and NEP goals. Her academic contribution include research publication in reputed journals, presentation at esteemed institutions such as Lady Shri Ram College for Women, and editorial contribution to the book Lead from Within. Guided by the philosophy of leading from within, she continues to inspire learners through her dedication toward culture, communication, literature, and holistic education. Ma'am, we are delighted to have you with us today. And now I humbly invite Assistant Professor Amisha Parmar to kindly address the participants and share her valuable thoughts. Ma'am, it's over to you now. Amisha, ma'am, can you hear us?
Amisha, ma'am, can you hear us?
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction.
Thank you.
Just give me a moment, ma'am. I'll just share my screen.
Sure.
Param, ma'am, can you please stop sharing the screen?
Okay, sure, ma'am. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Amisha, ma'am, now you can share your screen.
all right. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yeah, ma'am. Now it's visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. All right, ma'am. Is it properly visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, sure, ma'am.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Khalsa College of Engineering and Technology, for giving me this opportunity. And a special thanks to Dr. Shrikant Kalurkar, sir, as well. It all happened because of sir. Sir has been the motivator for me when it comes to Indian knowledge system and the stuffs related to it. Okay, so let's begin with the session today. Uh, you might be wondering that why Gen Z or why something different from the core teaching or pedagogy. And I hope that many of you have must be wondering that uh, how to how to grasp this topic or how to deal with Gen Z students these days. If some of you can come up and switch on your mic and just share your experience. What happens to you whenever you hear the word Gen Z? I would love to know about that. If anybody can come ahead and just share. As soon as you hear the word Gen Z, what do you feel about it?
Gen Z means impatient people nowadays, we can say.
Lovely, lovely, ma'am. Impatient. Any more insights on it?
What we can see, they are having a different world of imagination also.
Okay.
Whenever we are dealing with them, because they are living in a different world. We can see,
Hmm.
we can experience that our world is totally different and they are living in a different world, or sometimes we feel that we are living in a different world and they are from the different world.
Exactly, exactly. I'll tell you, ma'am,
Yeah.
I am a Gen Z professor, but I still feel a huge generational gap between my students and me. And I'm still processing, okay, every day I learn a different approach to teach them. Okay, I should
Because
move ahead like this.
you must be dealing with Gen Alpha now, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, there are Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and but sometimes I teach even millennial students also in my
Yeah.
MBA sessions. So it's like all these three generations coming together. So that's why. So this is the the eureka point that okay, let's go ahead with the Gen Z teaching because we all are kind of burnout these days. Oh my God, how to deal with these students and all. So okay, thank you so much
Well,
for your
Amisha
for
ma'am,
yes, ma'am.
Amisha ma'am, we got an answer in a chat box. Gen
Yes.
Z is a chat GPT seeker.
Okay, okay, lovely, lovely. Actually, it is happening these days. Okay, so before we begin, let's start with two quotations. A teacher does not only transfer information, a teacher transfers energy, intention, perspective, and sometimes even hope. And today, we will not be discussing only teaching techniques. We are discussing the inner state from which teaching emerges. The inner state you can call about your inner soul, your inner alignment. And to relate it more, you can imagine a day when you entered the class exhausted, but still connected deeply with the student. I hope it is happening with many of you, right? If I'm not wrong, or a lecture that felt effortless because you were internally aligned with the topic, or a moment when students responded not to your content but your authenticity. So I hope something like this keeps on happening with you. Or at times when a student say, "Thank you, ma'am," or "Thank you, sir, it was so good." And that is the hitting moment for all of us. So with these two quotations, let's move ahead. The overview of the session. What is inner alignment in teaching? Energy versus exhaustion in teaching, teaching Gen Z students, Indian knowledge system and holistic teaching, and activities and reflection. There will be a Q&A kind of thing where you all can come ahead, and practical pedagogical strategies, and lastly, closing reflection and takeaways. So let's start with inner alignment. And the very first thing, pause for a moment. So I request everyone to please pause for a moment and remember the very first day of teaching. Maybe it might be some years and years ago for many of you, or it might be recent for many of you, or however you want to take it. Can you all take yourself back to that day when you started teaching? When was your first lecture? Or when was or that day was your first day of teaching? And I especially wanted to relate it with your inner alignment, because this is my personal belief that if you want to understand inner alignment, you have to understand that yes, for teaching, knowledge is important, but before knowledge, that passion and rage is important. So I wanted to connect the inner alignment concept with the passion with which we started teaching. Can I get a couple of responses? If you can share, if some of you can share your first day of teaching, because I really wanted to make this session conversational. If some of you can come ahead and share your experience, it can be anything. Please, let's be frank enough. Let's be organic enough in sharing our experiences, because I'm pretty sure that many of you are going to share a variety of experiences because life is not always rosy for all of us. We might have faced different experiences in teaching, right? Can any of you come ahead?
Hello, ma'am. This is Nikki Ved. This side, I am from Jalgaon, Maharashtra. Can I share my views?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
I'll just share about what experiences I'm getting after being an assistant professor. Can I, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, actually, thing is like ki it. There is an the thing what I face was in the beginning was like age gap and all that, understanding
Yes,
the Gen Z and their mind concept because nowadays students need something different way of teaching. They don't want the
exactly.
same thing happening, coming in the class, just giving a lecture out, not having a two-way feedback with them, and just
Mhm.
blabbling out and just explaining them the concept and just move on. But nowadays,
Exactly.
what I have like, I've changed my way of teaching and all that. It's almost been 2 years working in an institute. So I have learned from my students also keep being friendly at certain level makes them more comfortable to understand the concept what we are trying to explain them.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this
That,
is what I
yeah.
wanted to share, ma'am.
Okay,
Understanding their
okay.
mindset and then explaining them the concepts.
Yes, ma'am. Empathetic teaching. This is what you
Yes,
mean to say,
very
right?
true, very
Yes.
true, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because we have to put ourselves in their shoes and then we have to teach them. Because
Very
now
true.
we cannot expect, a religious kind of teaching, okay, where we can teach anything and leave the class and where we can teach according to our preferences. I think this
Yeah,
thing has highly changed these days, right?
the in the beginning I was quite strict with my students and all that, and while the assignments everything, so they were like, "Ki, ma'am, thoda to easier karo. You are like just like in Hitler, ready to like very next day we want this complete and all that." Like, so slowly,
Hmm.
slowly
Hmm.
I changed the all those things also.
Yes.
As you said, ki
Yes.
fitting ourselves into their shoes. That is
Hmm.
what I'm doing right now, and I'm like have a very good tuning with my students.
Exactly, ma'am. Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you
your
so much, ma'am.
insights.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to come ahead and share their first day of teaching experience? Okay, then we'll keep it for the last because I really wanted to know. All right, no worries. We'll just continue. So, your thoughts, your emotions, your values, and at times your teaching purpose. All these things should walk on the same path. Then you are in a position to achieve your alignment. Because as we all know that yes, teaching is a duty, teaching is the major responsibility that we are into, but it should serve a meaningful contribution. This is what the purpose of teaching is, right? You should feel connected that why you teach, not just what you teach. You should keep on reminding yourself that, okay, what was the purpose of your teaching? You cannot just step into the class and then just okay, today this is my task. I have to finish it and then I'll leave the class. I think it happens many a times with many of us actually. But again, this is where the role of inner alignment will come in, right? So, very often when we discuss education, we focus on syllabus, outcomes, assessments, and methodologies. But before all of that, there is something more fundamental, that is the inner state, the inner alignment. Because teaching is not a mechanical or a robotic thing that you can just, it's it is not at all a task completing thing that you will be done with your task or so. A teacher, whenever enters the classroom or whenever we enter into the classroom, let's think that we have emotions, we have energy, we have a mindset, we do have an intention, or our presence, because these keywords are very very essential as soon as you enter into the classroom, because we know that students they are going to forget all the definitions that we are going to teach. They are going to forget all our PowerPoint slides. They are not going to remember those slides, right? But they are going to remember how safe they felt, how respected they felt. Yes, because respect is very, very important for the kids these days as well. Because abhi zamana aisa ho gaya hai ki disrespect to nobody is ready to take from their parents. We are still their teachers. So how respected they felt is important, and whether a teacher genuinely cared for them is very, very important. So all these, if you keep all these things in your mind, I hope you are going to achieve your inner alignment. And it happens that the another perspective that we must understand that why we teachers feel exhausted, how the Gen Z students learn differently, or how the Indian knowledge system can enrich teaching, and finally the practical strategies that we can immediately use in the classrooms, or how you can align all your how you can align all your keywords in alignment with your profession. Because these days, there are days when we finish a lecture and feel completely drained. And there are days when we teach the same topic but feel fulfilled and energized. And why? Because the difference is often not the syllabus. Because yes, it keeps on juggling in our mind that, okay, syllabus complete karna hai. But the only difference that can save us is the emotional connection. Emotional, because we are Indians, we love emotions. So let's try to apply in our profession as well. We have to understand the purpose, and again, we have to understand the connection of the relationship between a student and a teacher, that guru shishika relation. Again, Indian knowledge system will come into this picture, because guru shishika relationship has been cherished, has been respected since ages in our country, and this is where we can achieve our inner alignment. So, okay. So the example that you can see on the slide, sometimes we complete a lecture and feel mentally drained, and sometimes we complete another lecture and feel deeply fulfilled. And the difference is often not the subject, it's again our inner alignment. And in that, I think this example is clear to all of you that we can go ahead in our teaching, and at times we must feel ki, okay, I'm not prepared for this lecture, but yaar, ye lecture to bahut acha ho gaya. So again, you have to understand ki, yes, your knowledge was secondary in that manner, and your passion, your rage, and your energy was the primary one when you were teaching in the class. Okay, so moving ahead towards the next slide, another important section, energy versus exhaustion in teaching. Because, and at this point of time, I also wanted to share that at times it is okay to be exhausted, because again, the grass cannot be greener, life cannot be rosy all the time. So we have to understand that at times being exhausted is okay, but we have to also learn that how to overcome that exhaustion, right? Because teaching burnout is becoming extremely common today. So, but exhaustion is not always caused only by the workload. This is what I can say. Sometimes it happens because teaching becomes emotionally mechanical, and there is emotional disconnection. We teach only for syllabus completion, and at times it is happening because these days the semester is quite shorter, and at times we are like, okay, let's not be too much into creativity. Let's just complete the syllabus, complete the task, because after that we have to do a lot of evaluations. After that we have to complete all the documentation, and in that we are killing the creativity. And it's not only about the student creativity, but it is about our creativity also. And this creativity killing is directly hampering our own well-being, because हम अपने जॉब में तभी खुश रह पाएंगे whenever we are in a phase of active enthusiasm. We are enthusiastic about it, we are excited about it. Okay, I have to teach this, let's plan our lessons in a particular manner, or let's include some of the major pedagogical approaches that is important for the students also. So, why these things are happening? Because teaching is at times repetitive. We have to many a times teach the same thing. It is transactional, and energy naturally reduces, and it directly transformed into the emotional detachment with the student. because we are like, okay, yaar, again, बहुत exhaustion हो रहा है. Let's just give some tasks to the students and get done with the things. So इस case में obviously ऐसा होगा कि we are going to disconnect with our students. And as ma'am mentioned in her reply that emotional connection or the um, how you connect with your students is very, very important for both for the well-being of both the parties. Because if we continuously take care of students but often ignore our own mental and emotional well-being, things are going to be hampered. But on the other side, let's our energy returns when we enjoy discussions, when students genuinely interact. Because at times hota hai hamare sath when the students are not ready to answer in the class, or they don't interact, they don't answer to your questions, you will be disheartened, and it is genuinely right to be disheartened, because again you'll feel like अरे ये class तो respond ही नहीं कर रहा है, I'm not going to put so much energy into it. But again, we have to find solutions for that, right? It might happen that there are certain kind of students in the class who are not the toppers or below average students. So we have to transform our pedagogy in that case, or try to share lived experiences with them, or maybe the examples which are going to be suitable from their life. Then only we are going to have a connection with those students. So again, a student may forget an entire lecture, but never ever forget one moment when a teacher believed in them, when a teacher appreciated them, right? That okay, it was good. Even even it, I think it's happening with all of us, right? Okay. So let's move towards the major part of today's session, teaching Gen Z students. So before we put light on this segment, I am hearing a very, I'm listening a very popular, I don't know, I should name it as popular or not, but the very first thing that is, important in these, not important, but what is the in the air that, okay, uh, whenever we take the name Gen Z, attendance is something that will also come into the picture. So they have this notion that ओके, ये सारा मटेरियल तो यूट्यूब पे भी अवेलेबल है, ये सारे लेक्चर्स तो ऐसे ही मिल जाते हैं, चैट जीपीटी तो इसका आंसर तुरंत दे देता है, देन व्हाई आर वी गोइंग टू लिसन टू अ टीचर? So this is the major concern, and the major insecurity in teaching, we may say like that, because these days the era is changing, the pedagogy is changing, the entire education industry is changing. It is not the same it used to be years ago or even few years ago. So let's understand that how Gen Z students are. So digitally overstimulated, they have the exposure to Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, notifications, and constant scrolling. So sustaining attention has become very, very difficult. And I have seen that in many of the colleges. I mean, in my college also, at times we have a 2 hours lecture. And it is a task to just get their attention for 2 continuous hours, because again, we have to constantly revolve or explore a lot in our teaching in order to get their attention for 2 hours. And next is emotionally expressive. Early, unlike the previous generations, many Gen Z's students, they openly express emotions, their anxieties, their opinions, and their identity, which is actually a good thing. This is what I can feel. At times when I remember some of my students, they explicitly say me, ma'am, ab zone out ho raha hai. Now we are not getting things, and now we are not understanding. And for example, whenever I teach communication skills, so there is a segment, extempore speech, where they have to, all of a sudden, they will be called on the stage, a topic will be given to them, and they have to speak on that particular topic. And it is not, not a healthy thing for many of the students, because at times people are lost that what to speak, how to speak, and at times we lose our temper कि okay क्यों नहीं बोल रहे हो, topic तो easy है, you have to speak. But back of the mind, they share something that okay, ma'am, I have serious anxiety issues, I have a certain childhood trauma. I have recently lost one of my parent, and it is not at all easy to just come and speak in front of 50 to 60 students. So at some point in time, I really like this approach that, okay, they are expressive about this factor. And on the other hand, it is a very serious concern also because we have to understand that just like we are fighting battles in our life, our students are also fighting it. They are coming from different backgrounds, they're coming from different culture, different environment. So we have to understand that every student is not the same and he or she might be facing some difficulty. So let's give that student some time to process things and then move ahead. And attention fragmented. In this case, we can say they are multitasking continuously. They are in some of the events, college, or many events. I mean, not events, but events or clubs, or many of them are doing some certain courses. So again, this can also be a drawback while we teach them. And highly visual learners. This is again quite contradictory because they learn faster through visuals, through examples, through storytelling, media, and demonstrations. So at times, a typical theory fails uh, when we teach them. So just try to incorporate more and more visuals, examples, storytelling, media, and demonstrations that is more resonating to them. And next is curious about practical relevance. So they constantly ask. I mean, it is happening to me almost daily. They constantly ask that, okay, ma'am, why should I learn this? Or what is the actual or pragmatic approach towards it? Or ये मेरे job में कैसे important होगा and all such things. So at times it is funny, at times it is interesting, but again, as the topic says, we have to understand Gen Zs and change our pedagogy according to that. Okay, so another important thing, what Gen Zs does not like, because liking हो गई, वो कैसे है Gen Zs, उनके बारे में जानना and all such things, but we have to understand that what they don't like, especially monologue teaching. If you're just standing in between the class or just standing straight and just giving lecture in the same monotonous tone, they are not going to understand anything. They are not going to respond. They will be emotionally distant from you. And again, the only theory philosophy will not going to function. Even if we have to teach theory, we have to use a certain pragmatic or practical approach to teach them. And fear-based classrooms. So as ma'am said, as the ma'am said, आप Hitler क्यों हो ma'am and all. So again, fear-based classrooms are also not going to function. But at times we have to maintain a kind of fear, not exactly the word fear, but uh, a certain standard. You have to set a standard that okay, this is my particular way of teaching. Okay, I accept your way of learning, but you have to understand my way of teaching and my way of let's say when they have to submit the assessment assignments and when they have to give the presentations. So just be a bit strict in that case. I mean, so I always use the corporate philosophy with them that, okay, whenever you are going to be at your workplace, you have to serve the deadline. You cannot say कि ma'am zone out हो रहा था or I was procrastinating. So I try to associate thing with their career aspect because again I teach engineering students and MBA students. So in every session, if I connect with the industry example, with the industry exposure, so वहाँ पे वो थोड़े serious हो जाते हैं that okay, because the purpose of my subject is again to make them to make them fulfilled engineers in not only in their subject but in communication and in their personality also. So I try to make things understand that okay, why people are not able to work in their workplace. They are always waiting for the weekends and also ये सारी चीजें क्यों होती हैं because right from the first year you're not attentive in your approach, you're not professional in your approach. So I use that methodology to get things done from them. So that is working out from them. You all can also try this in your particular subjects. And the other perspective is because I said so teaching. Again, this is not going to function. Just like मैंने कह दिया तो कह दिया वाली teaching, again, it is not going to be fruitful. You have to again take hand in hand with their perspective also. And the last one is emotionally distant teachers. So again, emotional connection, the emotional factor is really, really important because we have to, if we have to make things done from their side, or if we have to teach them in a productive manner, that emotional connection is predominantly very, very important. Okay, so now coming towards the what works with Gen Z. So again, certain examples we have already discussed. This is just a flow chart for you to understand that certain pointers, 5 pointers are there. First is the conversational teaching. Yes, you cannot just come and teach in a monotonous way. Try to converse with them. Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Amisha ma'am,
How was your
your
day
like
before?
Amisha
Hello.
ma'am, I think screen has got freeze. Can you please check it
Okay.
out?
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Is it working right now?
No, ma'am. Can you please again start sharing the PPT?
Okay. All right, ma'am. All right. Ma'am, is it now visible? Hello?
To me, it's not. I is it visible to any other participant?
Actually, it is still at what is inner alignment in teaching.
Oh my
It's
God. Oh my God.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's stuck there, ma'am.
Okay.
You can stop
Fine.
sharing and share it again, everything.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I'll do that. Ma'am, is it now visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's
It's
visible.
All right.
visible, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So this was about inner alignment in teaching, and this was energy versus exhaustion
Yes.
in teaching. All these slides
Yes.
were not visible, yeah? Okay.
Okay, yes.
I hope it's visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. I think, should I switch off my video so that it can function properly or what?
No issues, ma'am. You can switch off the video if there is some
Okay.
network issue. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is the screen visible? What works with Gen Z?
Yes, ma'am. What works
All
with
right.
Gen Z?
Yes. Okay. So, as we were discussing, the foremost important thing is conversational teaching. Instead of teaching at students, let's just teach with students. Meaning, for example, in my communication classes, instead of only defining concepts, I connect things with real life examples. That is the second point. Let's say cinema or memes or advertisements or the social media culture or corporate examples, as I previously mentioned, and daily life situations. Because again, they love the way they love the situations which are connecting to them and which are resonating with them. कि, okay, acha, हाँ, ऐसा. Especially memes. So memes these days are very popular, and many of you might have witnessed, for example, Akshay Kumar ki purani movies wale memes. They are very, very popular. So they understand a lot of stuffs through memes and through again cinema or web series ka examples also we can give. I know many subjects may it's not possible, but still if I have to research a lot about it कि okay इसको कैसे सिनेमा से कनेक्ट करें, इसको कैसे मीम्स से कनेक्ट करें. So थोड़ा एफर्ट्स हमें लगाना पड़ेगा उसमें. We have to understand the modern and actually the postmodern culture to make them understand. Then only we'll be in a position to connect. First तो हमें अपने आप से हमें ये रियल लाइफ के एग्जांपल्स का कनेक्शन बनाना पड़ेगा कि ओके अभी मार्केट में क्या पॉपुलर चल रहा है. सो क्या उस एस्पेक्ट से बच्चों को समझ में आएगा. सो वी हैव टू यूज ऑल दीज पेडागोजिकल अप्रोचेस क्योंकि ये सारा अप्रोच I mean, we used to have interactions with faculties from all spectrums, from arts, commerce, engineering, management, from physiotherapy and medical as well. So हर जगह पे we have a common discussion कि ये सारे approaches से the pedagogy is quite easier and the students are they are in a mood to learn actually, because again all these things comes with humor. And let me tell you, you are never ever going to fail with humor. With humor, you are going to engage students, you're going to have that energy, you are going to get those responses. And again, it's like a thing कि okay, अरे हाँ 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 ये हो रहा है, ऐसे समझ आ रहा है. So again, these things are going to function for you. Am I audible, right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. You
ma'am.
are
Yes.
audible.
Definitely.
Okay,
you are
okay.
audible.
All right, all right. Yes, ma'am. So coming towards the next part, micro engagement. These things are very, at a very small scale, but again is going to add a lot to your teaching. Let's say always ask a question while teaching and use reflections, or just have mini micro discussions that okay, is topic se related, ye kya discussion hai, what is your thought on it, and let's do a poll कि, okay, what do you think about it, or poll wala kind of thing, which again enhances engagement in the class. Or pair sharing, okay, what make them sit in pairs and ask their opinions, and so all these things are definitely going to function. And storytelling, very 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 important, because हम ऐसे देश से belong करते हैं जहाँ हमारे देश की मिट्टी में भी कहानियों का स्वाद है, कहानियों की खुशबू है. So let's revive, and Indian knowledge system is also saying the same thing, that let's revive the Indian pedagogical approaches, so that Guru Shishya Parampara wali thing bhi, it used to function on storytelling. So always try to connect things with stories. For example, I remember in the last semester, my students have to give some presentations on batteries. So they were asking some feedback from me, that, okay, feedback, not suggestions, ma'am, how to present it. Then I asked them, what is your topic? First, tell me about this, because being a non-technical person, I have zero knowledge about batteries. So then I suggested them ki, okay, instead of starting your concept about batteries in your presentation, let's just start how was life before batteries. अगर batteries नहीं होती तो life कैसी होती, या batteries के बिना life कैसी थी. So again, it's a human approach. So and an approach of storytelling. So all these approaches can definitely going to enhance your pedagogy. And again, the important fourth one is emotional safety, because students learn better when they are not afraid of judgment. Very, very important. Because at times in the flow of teaching, we often judge our students, and वो अनजाने में हो जाता है. उसमें we are not at our fault, but okay, this is wrong. Actually, we make them sit or something. We pass some comment like this, कि, okay, this is wrong or something like this. Even in such situations, we have to be very cautious about it, that कि okay, अगर किसी ने कुछ गलत भी बोला है, then we have to make them understand in a very subtle manner, because again they take it on their heart कि okay, ऐसा कैसे बोल दिया. Or we have to make them we have to make them understand कि okay, how you can work on all these things. And the second one is they feel heard. And बहुत सारे क्लास में at times there are more than 50, 60 and even 70 students in one class. So बहुत बच्चों के साथ ऐसा होता है कि they are not getting heard from you, और उनका opinion class में importance, उनका opinion को class में हम importance नहीं दे पाते हैं. So all these things again we have to keep in our mind, that okay, everyone in the class should be heard, should be respected from our end also. And yes, so teach meaning, not just content, because as I mentioned before, that Gen Z always ask that why should I learn this? How should I learn this? Or how it is going to be an important academic stuff, or how it is going to matter, or how it is going to help me in my life and in my career as well. So all these things are again going to play a vital role while you teach. And now moving towards ma'am, the slide is visible. I have changed the slide just now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right. So now let's have a short glimpse, not a thorough discussion on Indian knowledge system, but a short glimpse that how we can use the pedagogical approach of Indian knowledge system and holistic teaching together. Because this is my personal belief that Indian knowledge system is not only about the ancient texts or the Vedas or the scriptures that that is available with us, but they are they are teaching us a way of living, a way of thinking, and a way of balancing our inner and outer life, way of balancing our panch koshas. As the panch kosha model is all about your physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, and your spiritual dimensions together. So if we have to bring a transformation in not only in our student, but in ourselves as educators also, we have to just see that how we can align all our panchakoshas and then teach and then learn and grow with our students. And adding to it, yes, the Guru Shishya tradition, because if many of you can relate that Guru Shishya tradition mein kya hota tha, that students used to leave their home and then they used to live with their gurus. So actually, wo to currently it is not possible these days. But again, that tradition was highly focusing upon mentorship, because as a professor, this is what I have feel that maybe because of my subject that I teach, but also I at times I have to be their psychological counselor also. कि, okay, अगर आपको ये problem हो रहा है, then क्यों हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, and it is happening with many of the educators these days that they start to share their problems outside academics. That okay ma'am, I'm facing all these problems and इसी की वजह से मेरे academics भी hamper हो रही है. So there comes the role of a mentor, not only a professor or a teacher, but again you have to be a mentor. You have to be emotionally with them. You have to support them in their character building and in their holistic growth. Because again, we have to make them understand that we live in a country where marks are important in academia, but also we have to make them understand that try to work on your personality, try to just erase the baggage of trauma that the student is carrying these days. So, all if you can align the Guru Shishya tradition and the Panchakosha model together, the outcome is going to be very fruitful, and for both the parties, for educators like us and for the Gen Z students also. And coming towards the next slide. Ma'am, the next slide is visible. If you can just say a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
It's
all right,
visible.
all right. Yes. Okay. So let's go just have a look towards the practical IKS integration in classroom. Begin the class with 1 minute of breathing and mindful silence. It is not a kind of meditation, but okay, let's breathe in and breathe out. Let's just take a moment, because again there are at times continuous lectures, so they are in some other motion, their mind is brewing with some other stuffs, and then suddenly we enter into the class teaching them another subject. So please give a couple of minutes to them, or a 5 minutes maximum to them to process life, because at times this is their complaint, मैम life process नहीं हो रही है, मैम process नहीं हो रहा है, आज इतने दिन में इतना सब कुछ हो गया. So again, try to incorporate this thing as soon as you enter into the class. Just ask them to take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out. Just ask them that how are they. If there is a Monday, just ask them how was the weekend. If there is a festival, just wish them. Or if there is something going on in the college or outside, just take, hal chal puchna kind of thing. So again, that will create a secure sense, a comforting sense between you and the students that, okay, wow, ma'am is asking again. So again, another important thing is use reflective questions, because it encourages self-awareness. Just ask them, okay, what have we learned in the previous section, in the previous lecture? What is the status till now? Have you completed this assignment or not? Because again, self-awareness is very, very important. Because even though they are Gen Zs, we cannot leave them ऐसे freely कि okay, सब कुछ तुम्हारे हिसाब से होगा. No, time to time पे we have to make them understand that you are lacking this knowledge, you have to learn this, and you have to make things right in your academia, and you have to do things on time. So that self-awareness wala factor will add a lot of productivity to them. And promote ethical thinking by connecting subjects with empathy and social responsibility. Because yes, we are often focusing about critical thinking कि okay, critically इसको analyze करते हैं, critically इसको सोचो, critically इस theory को देखो, but we are just ignoring the factor of ethical thinking, right? So ethical thinking is something that is happening in my sessions whenever I take the example of my lectures, for example, group discussions or debates. Why are we doing such, for example, जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की या सस्टेनेबिलिटी की जो बड़े बड़े यूएन नेशंस में मीटिंग्स होती हैं and all such things, why those discussions are happening, why those you know, why we are into a group discussions? Because again, we have to become socially responsible citizens. We have to be empathetic towards our nation, towards nature, just like Modi ji has appealed a couple of days before to follow those 7 criterias because the country is in crisis. So similarly, we have in our teaching or whatever the subject is, we have to teach them with ethical upbringing. We may say like this, that okay, ye kyun if you are an engineer, what is your responsibility? If you are a literature person, what is your responsibility? If you are a law student, what will be your responsibility towards future? Because just getting the degree and posting it on social media or LinkedIn will not do the job, right? You have to bring a change in the society with the pathway of your education, with the medium of your education. And the another one is encourage mindful listening, because this is what that I have faced. I mean, many of us might be facing that they are not ready to listen. They are they are highly impatient. They are lacking communication. And again, communication is not only about speaking English, but how do you talk? How do you behave? How your personality is? And all these things starts with the essence of listening. Because unless and until you are not, if you are not a good listener, you are not going to be a good communicator. You are not going to be a good human being. Because again, to grasp knowledge, listening is the only medium. Okay. So another is the storytelling tradition that I already mentioned, that it is going to make your learning memorable. It is going to make your learning emotional and culturally rooted. Because why culturally rooted? Because again, हमारे country में कहानियां बहुत चलती है. Starting from नानी दादी की कहानियां to कहानियां that we we embrace kahani, we embrace stories a lot. We learn from stories a lot. And let's say a movie we are watching. That is what? A story. A web series जो हमने अभी देख के खत्म की 4 season. क्या था वो भी एक कहानी थी. You know, if somebody is going to narrate, just like the question that I asked, ki, okay, can you describe your very first day of teaching? So, wo bhi kya hota? Ek kahani hoti, right? So, again, the major input of IKS is to revive the essence of storytelling in your pedagogical approaches. And again, as I mentioned, the battery wala example, it can be incorporated in all the subjects. Just we have to transform our pedagogy through storytelling, through examples. And again, I'm emphasizing on storytelling a lot because it has worked for me. It has worked wonders. It has done wonders to my student and to me as well, बिकॉज उसके बाद उनका जो इंटरेक्शन होता है, आई मीन योर इंटरेक्शन विद द स्टूडेंट्स, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी enhanced a lot. And the last one, so connect your subject with human values. It is similar to the ethical approaches, the empathy and the social responsibility. For example, how engineering serves society and sustainability. Because just doing an engineering project and an engineering internship will not do the job. You have to understand from the lens of dharma and adharma. For example, these days we are facing global warming, and now it is no more global warming, but it is global boiling. So how we can add productivity through your, for example, your engineering subjects to the society, how we can serve the society, how we can be sustainable towards our society. So all these human values should be taught. For example, management, may BBA, may MBA, may, or in subjects like medical science or something, and even in research also. Because again, what is the wholesome purpose of education? What is the wholesome purpose of the educators teaching our student? That is to bring a positive transformation in the society, right? And these days, sustainability. So try to connect all these things. Again, try to teach them application learning and teaching. That will be beneficial for the students in a very pragmatic and easier manner. Okay, so moving towards activities and reflections. Ma'am, is the slide visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes,
definitely.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So we have reached almost the end of the session. So before that, uh, two questions for all of you, and this time I really want answers. Okay, so activity one, or maybe the question one, you can say like that. The teacher who changed me. Think of one teacher who transformed your life. What quality made them unforgettable? So, can any one of you come ahead? And the teacher who changed me. And it can be anyone, maybe your mentor, maybe your school teacher, your college teacher. So, if I can give my example, yes, there are a handful of teachers who have just changed my life like anything. But there is one teacher, she's my school teacher actually, Chanda ma'am. She taught me English. God knows the how it happened, but she taught me English for continuous 5 years in my school, from standard 8 to standard 12. And that has changed my life like anything because I was obsessed with her like anything. Whenever she used to enter into the class with so much energy, so much positivity, with the approach she teaches us. And the foremost important approach that English is not only about grammar or stuff, other stuff, but English is about understanding society, understanding literature, understanding media, understanding cinema, and all such things. And I was a biology student in my 11th and 12th, not by choice, but by circumstances. But she has just changed my life like anything that I decided, ki, okay, English language and literature, English communication, personality development will be the only medium that I will work for. And if I'm sitting here taking a session or teaching in my college English, all these things happened because of her. So this was the teacher who changed me. So if some of you can come ahead and just share your experience. तो सबके life में कोई ना कोई ऐसा teacher तो जरूर होता है. Okay, so I really want answers from you all. Please come ahead. And the second question also, subject to life connection. How can your subject contribute to human development beyond marks and exams? Because हमारे बच्चों को भी यही चाहिए. Marks and exams से of course फर्क पड़ता है. This is very, very important. But this is very important for our students, for our pedagogical approaches also. And I can expect that there are faculties in the session who might be from different subjects. So if any one of you can come ahead and share your experience, please. I'm waiting.
So participants, you may raise your hands, and if you want to type the answer or response in the chat, you can type it in the chat also. And
Yeah.
you can unmute yourself if you want. You can share your views.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Myself, Dr. Suvarna. I am working as an assistant professor in Engineering College, Ghaziabad.
Okay.
I wish to ask you that, as in engineering college or in this, I think we have different subjects to taught. Means right
Yes.
now, in 15 years of teaching experience, I think I taught 15 subjects.
Okay.
So how we can go with this contribute to human development beyond marks and exams? Is to relate every subject. Yes, I give students the practicality or the approach for the particular subject,
Hmm.
but it will again means how we can relate it with human development. Because
Okay.
industrial, okay, I connect engineering subject with the industry requirement and in that case, but with the social human development, it's very difficult right now. Means मुझे आप आइडिया दीजिए कैसे मैं इसको कनेक्ट कर सकता हूँ मतलब बियॉन्ड मार्क्स एंड बियॉन्ड एग्जाम तो बात करती हूँ बट ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट
Amisha, ma'am, your mic is at mute.
Hello. Am
Yes,
I audible, ma'am? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, ma'am. If I may ask about your subjects that you are teaching, so it will help me answer your question.
Ma'am, like digital electronics, communication, information
Okay.
theory and coding, IoT. So all the recent subject, which is the base for electronics and communication student, even
Okay,
CS
okay, okay.
students.
So you
So
are ENTC professor, right? Your
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
electronics and
Yes,
telecommunication.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So, ma'am, whenever we talk about human development, it is about the societal development, the modern problems that we are facing. So, what I perceive engineering is all about solving human problems, right?
Yes,
For example, just like the apps we are using these days. Okay. Let's take an example of Zepto or Blinkit or Big Basket. So ये apps हमारे problem solve कर रहे हैं, right? Because initially क्या होता था कि we cannot get stuffs at our doorstep. We cannot, for example, again Zomato वाले apps हो गए या फिर shopping apps like Mintra or Amazon or Savannah or whatever apps we are using. So पहले again क्या होता था कि we have to go shop, we have to just hunt things like anything, or we have to go and eat food outside, or we have to shop our groceries and everything. But ये सारी apps के आने से क्या हुआ? All these are technology, right? So ये सारे apps के आने से क्या हुआ कि हमारी problems का solution हुआ, right? हमारे resources भी बच रहे, we cannot always go, and then things are available at our doorstep. And इससे काफी लोगों को jobs भी मिल रहे हैं, right? For example, Myntra is a big company these days. So people are getting hired, people, and again, there is a modern lens towards technology, right? So this is again directly contributing towards human development, right? Because we are no more, if we say that India is now becoming the largest economy or underdeveloped से developing country हो रहा है, so ये क्यों हो रहा है? Because of all these technologies, right? For example, प्लास्टिक बैग से हम पेपर बैग्स पे आ गए हैं, या फिर पहले के सारे जो मूवी टिकट्स होते थे या मेट्रो के टिकट्स या काफी जगह टिकट्स पहले हमें फिजिकल कॉपीज में मिलता था, बट दीज डेज टिकट्स आर अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन और डिजिटल टिकट्स मिलते हैं, राइट? सो अगेन हाउ ये सब कैसे हुआ? टेक्नोलॉजी से हुआ, एंड अगेन
okay,
थ्रू
ma'am.
इंजीनियरिंग, या एंड थ्रू मल्टीपल, एंड इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी से भी ज्यादा किससे हुआ? एजुकेशन से हुआ, राइट? So
Yes,
again, these are the practical approaches जिससे हम
okay,
ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट में, जिससे हम सोसाइटी का डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं, एंड जिससे हमारी सोसाइटी, नॉट ओनली आवर सोसाइटी इज डेवलपिंग, बट आवर सोसाइटी इज प्रोग्रेसिंग टुवर्ड्स अ मॉडर्न नेशन,
okay,
राइट? सो
got it.
वैसे करके हमें टीचिंग करना पड़ेगा, मैम. आई एम नॉट इन अ पोजिशन टू एग्जैक्टली गिव यू द एग्जांपल ऑफ
नहीं, I got
ईएनटीसी
the
के
idea.
सब्जेक्ट से
I
कैसे
got
करें.
the idea.
या
I have to
या
relate it with practical application,
एप्लीकेशंस,
more
यस,
to the practical one, and
एग्जैक्टली.
exactly to the pinpoint कि इस subject से कहाँ पर hit होगा. I got
कहाँ पे
your
हिट
point.
होगा?
Okay.
एग्जैक्टली मैम.
Yes.
लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द, जस्ट लाइक आई मेंशन ना, लिव्ड एक्सपीरियंसेस को हमें सामने
हाँ,
लाना है,
जी
राइट?
जी
तो
जी
फॉर
मैम.
एग्जांपल कि आई टीच ग्रुप डिस्कशंस एंड डिबेट, तो उसमें रिसेंटली राघव चड्डा, वेरी पॉपुलर पॉलिटिशियन, सो ही पॉइंटेड आउट द इशू ऑफ 10-minute डिलीवरी ऐप, कि वो
Yes.
जो हमारे, ओके, लाइफ इज रोजी फॉर अस कि हमारे दरवाजे पे आ जाएगा 10 मिनट में, एट टाइम्स कभी कभी उससे भी कम में, बट हैव वी इवन इमेजिन द लाइफ ऑफ दोज डिलीवरी पर्सन्स? उनके लाइफ को क्या हो रहा होगा? बहुत सारे ऐसे भी केसेस आए थे कि एक्सीडेंट्स भी हुए हैं इस 10-minute डिलीवरी के केसेस में एंड ऑल. तो हमारी लाइफ इजी तो हो रही है, बट हु आर द पीपल गेटिंग अफेक्टेड इनटू इट?
On
सो
the
ऐसे
cost of others'
कॉन्वर्सेशंस,
life. No, on the
yes,
cost
on the
of
cost
others'
of
life.
others' life, right? And at times, for example, I live in Pune. यहाँ पे there are heavy rains, and at times हम उन heavy rains में भी हम order करते हैं, and delivery वाले भैया वो आते हैं हमारे पास and they deliver stuffs to us. But again, बहुत modern हो गए हैं हम. Technology हमारे पास सब कुछ है, but इसका drawback क्या है? तो अगेन वो उसका एप्लीकेशन मैं अपने ग्रुप डिस्कशंस में शेयर करती हूँ, अपने डिबेट्स में शेयर करवाती हूँ बच्चों से कि ओके, कम अहेड विद दीज थॉट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, फेमिनिज्म की बातें हम करते हैं, पेट्रियार्की की बातें करते हैं. तो अगेन ये ग्रुप डिस्कशंस एंड डिबेट्स में ये बस एक एक्टिविटी नहीं है कि ओके करवा के खत्म कर लिया. ये मेरे बच्चों को वो प्लेटफॉर्म देगा कि उसको वो ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट में कैसे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. For example, in our literature and language and communication sessions, we openly talk about issues like menstruation, issues like rape cases and all such things, issues like eve teasing to females. And आजकल feminism सिर्फ नाम के लिए नहीं है. We actually females have to fight a lot to get our rights. That's why we are teaching over here these days, right? So again, ये सारे इश्यूज को हम सिर्फ बात करने के लिए नहीं बात करते अपने क्लास में. ये हम सारे इश्यूज हम बात करते हैं कि हाउ कैन वी be open towards these issues. How can we bring a change? For example, abhi recently, last month, we had a discussion on cooking is not a gender role, right? So, and which is actually it is not a gender role. So again, ये सारे discussions को हम society के development में कैसे add कर सकते हैं? हम कैसे society को transform कर सकते हैं? With looking into the drawbacks to it. So मैं अपने subjects में मैम जो human development वाला angle है वो ऐसे लाती हूँ. तो I hope I was somewhere
ma'am.
close
Thank you.
to
Thank you so
answer you.
much. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Just
much.
try to incorporate the modern examples, the modern apps का example, modern technology का. और अगर किसी कोई साइंटिस्ट है, कोई फिलोसोफर है या कोई पॉलिटिशियन है, अगर कुछ ऐसा कोई इनिशिएटिव्स ले रहे हैं सोसाइटी के लिए, तो उनका एग्जांपल्स भी लाके वी कैन एंगेज द क्लासरूम थ्रू दैट. तो
Got
ह्यूमन
it, ma'am.
डेवलपमेंट की तरफ हम बढ़ जाएंगे.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, I still didn't get my answer.
So-
The teacher who changed me. Can any one of you come ahead?
All the participants.
Or you can
Good
write down
evening,
in your
ma'am.
chat.
I would like to
Yes.
share my experience.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
I am Shilpa Gujar, assistant professor in engineering college from Pune. Okay, so I would like to
Ma'am
share
is
my
my
experience.
colleague. Shilpa ma'am is my dear friend and my colleague. Thank you, ma'am.
Uh,
Yes, ma'am. Please share your experience.
Actually, I wanted to share regarding my geography teacher. Till a
Yes, ma'am.
standard, I absolutely dislike geography subject. Okay, as a subject.
Okay.
But everything
Okay.
changed when LK Kulkarni sir, he started teaching our class. Okay. He
Okay.
made the subject so interesting and easy to understand that I still remember that I got out of marks in the final exam. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I not only began enjoying that subject because of the teacher, because of his way of teaching, but also scored full marks in the final exam. And that
Oh,
is
wow.
the true impact of a great teacher, what I believe. Okay. Today
Wow,
also, I vividly remember many topics that I learned from him almost 2 decades ago. So it is not
Wow.
actually just yesterday I learned, but still I remember it vividly. Such teachers leave a lifelong impression on their students. I think that is the job of a teacher, to change your
Wow, wow.
perspective, to make you interested in that subject and all that. So that is what I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So what I perceive is that just try to become the teacher that you once needed in your life. Just try to solve all your problems, just like Shilpa ma'am's problem was solved. Even even I expected a good geography teacher. I like traveling, but I don't like geography. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience.
Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
So, yes, before ending my session, I just want to go ahead with 5 certain pedagogical strategies. So, always start with energy, not attendance. Teach concepts through stories and use interdisciplinary examples. I think I have answered my question in my previous examples, that how you can be interdisciplinary. For example, how you can teach technology with the essence of humanity and humanity with the essence of technology. This is what I do in my lectures. And again, balance technology with human connection. Use reflective learning. What did today's lecture make you think about? Or how you can apply all these concepts in your daily life. And the last one, protect your own energy as an educator. This is my humble request to everyone, because yes, we are drained out, we are exhausted, and a burnout teacher cannot create inspired learners. So try to be motivated, try to change the version of yourself, just like Amisha 2.2 or Shilpa 2.2, just like think yourself like this. Okay, now I will be the 2.0 version of myself. Then things will be easier for you. You won't get that much burnout. You will be burnt out. It is going to happen. But again, how you're going to overcome from that is important. Okay. So before I say thank you to everyone, closing thoughts from my side. Students may forget our slides, but they rarely forget our presence. Teaching is not only a profession, it is a transfer of consciousness from one human being to another. And this consciousness is often life to us, is often energy, is often beauty, is often your playfulness and enthusiasm that you're going to transfer to your students. And you must have noticed that some of the students, they try to imitate yourself. They try to say in the way how you say. They try to do things in the way how you do things. And yes, that is what all about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me, and a heartfelt thank my heart to all the participants who are there today, who listened to me, and special thanks to everyone who just contributed. And if anyone wants to share something, if all the questions that I asked, if you want to share something about your first day of teaching, about about certain problems that you face, please come ahead.
So all the participants, if you want to say something and want to ask any kind of query, any kind of question, then please write it in chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask the queries. So we can see thank you messages in the chat box. Thank you so much for an informative session, for a wonderful session. Yeah.
I think this is Kallurkar. I would like to add because I am attending all the sessions because I promised Ripin Madam that I will attend all
Hello,
the
sir.
days. Preferably.
Good
Yeah, hello.
evening.
Good
I'm
evening.
Thank
glad that
you
you're
so
here.
much, sir.
Yeah, the idea is when you mentioned about the battery, according to IKL, the Agastya Samhita,
Hmm,
almost
hmm.
6,000 years back, the battery was developed. It was made in an earthen pot using copper plates. And recently in Nagpur, the experiment was repeated as per Agastya Samhita. And it was observed that each earthen pot can give around 1.138 volts.
Okay, okay.
So when we say life before battery, maybe that, yes,
Yes.
the first battery was introduced 6,000 years ago. I just wanted to add this.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much, sir.
That's a nice informative part. Thank you so much, Kalurkar sir. Shrikant sir, you're always there in the session for whole of the session. You are there. Thank you so much for a great support, sir.
You're welcome.
And again, it can be, sir, it can be a major pedagogical example also. Because
Yeah.
again, we need examples to teach. So we can incorporate such examples in our teaching. Then only it will be relatable to the students, especially in IKS and in all the
Yes.
subjects as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Jagrup Kaur, Madam Jagrup Kaur is saying something. How can teachers support students' mental well-being? And there is one more message. Oh, okay, we can go ahead one by one. So the
Okay.
query is, how can teachers support students' mental well-being?
Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So again, mental well-being is something that is we have to take it very consciously. For example, if a student has scored less marks or a student is not answering in the class, I mean, this is on the basis of what I am facing it. So try not to be vocal about it in front of the entire class. Just talk to the student. Just talk to the students have a separate conversation with the student that okay, is there something that you are facing, what is the difficulties that you faced, or what is stopping you from being a productive student. So वो अगर हम उनसे अलग बिठा के उनसे थोड़ा बात कर लें that because at times अगर we are not in a position to solve all the problems of the student, this is also one of the harsh reality, बट एट टाइम्स दे फील गुड कि मैम आपने मेरी बातें सुनी, मुझे यही सुन के बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, एंड दिस इज द फीडबैक, दिस इज द रिस्पॉन्स दैट माई स्टूडेंट्स गिव इट टू मी कि मैम एट टाइम्स हमारे पास कोई बात करने के लिए नहीं होता है. सो मेनी स्टूडेंट्स इन माई सेशंस दे से कि मैम मैं चैट जीपीटी से बात करता हूँ कि ओके मुझे ऐसा ऐसा फील हो रहा है, what can I do? And actually this is dangerous. I mean, once or twice it's okay to converse, but we need people in our life, right? Because हम हम एक ऐसे सोसाइटी से बिलोंग करते हैं जो हमारी सोसाइटी काफी चेरिशिंग है, आर इंडियन सोसाइटी. वी नीड पीपल, वी लव पीपल अराउंड अस, एंड एट टाइम्स लोगों से बात करके हमें आधे प्रॉब्लम्स का सोल्यूशन मिल जाता है हमें, राइट? सो इन सब तरीकों से वी कैन फिक्स द प्रॉब्लम. स्पेशली डू नॉट ट्राई टू प्रमोट दीज थिंग्स कि आप चैट जीपीटी से बात करो और समथिंग. ट्राई टू talk to your friends. आजकल colleges में psychological counselors होते हैं, because if anybody is from psychology, that faculty can come ahead and add to my point. But usually एक level तक ही हम अपने बच्चों को support कर सकते हैं, right? We can talk to them, we can give some solutions, and जब कुछ ज्यादा बड़ा problem है, then तो we have to ask them to take therapy from the college or from the school psychological counselors. उस level पे help कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर केस बहुत ही वर्स्ट है तो वी कैन टॉक टू देयर पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो, बिकॉज एट टाइम्स की थोड़ा हमें उन, बिकॉज पेरेंट्स आर एट टाइम्स वेरी एडमेंट कि नहीं ये काम करना है तो करो, ये इतने मार्क्स ही लाना है तो लाओ. नो, वी कैन नॉट फोर्स आवर स्टूडेंट्स, बिकॉज एवरी चाइल्ड, एवरी इंडिविजुअल इज डिफरेंट. सो ये सर्टेन एट टाइम्स यू जस्ट आस्क कि बेटा क्या हुआ, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट यू आर फेसिंग, एंड यू विल फील कि हाफ ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा वहां पे सॉल्व होता है. द चाइल्ड इज अ बिट रिलैक्स्ड, द चाइल्ड इज लाइक ओके समबडी इज देयर टू हेल्प, और किसी ने मेरी प्रॉब्लम सुनी, अब मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई कैन से अबाउट मेंटल वेलबींग. थैंक यू फॉर आस्किंग जगरूप मैम.
Okay, there is one more message from Noordeep Kaur. Madam is
Okay.
saying, good evening, madam. Many things you addressed very well about Gen Z, but one more issue is that their concentration is more on what is doing on their social medias
Media.
than class. So it is very difficult to drag their attention.
Yes, ma'am. This is social media is something that is more important than oxygen these days. क्योंकि उनका attention span भी काफी कम हो चुका है, as I mentioned in my session also.
But
इसके वजह से
I
because
think one important thing about social media is that some of the facts, some of the figures that we don't know, Gen Z people know that from the
yes,
social media. My
yes,
daughter, she is 12 years old, and she used to tell me some of the facts. Okay, mama, आपको पता है ऐसा होता है? मैंने कहा आपको कैसे पता? मम्मा मेरे को रील से पता लगा था.
yes, exactly. So, on a wider picture, if I can say, we cannot delete our lives from social media entirely.
Yeah.
In fact, not only Gen Zs, but all of us are into social media a lot, be it LinkedIn, be it Instagram, WhatsApp, or whatnot. But again, to drag their attention, पहले तो unnecessary use of mobile phones in the class, that should be stopped right
Yeah,
away. And
definitely,
again,
definitely.
very strategically, we have to do it. ऐसा करने के लिए कुछ गेम्स से मैं तो अपनी क्लास को इंटरेस्टिंग बनाने के लिए शुरू कर देती हूँ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट्स से माई नेम स्टार्ट्स विद ए, so you have to give an adjective or an epithet to your name. For example, amazing Amisha or aesthetic Amisha. So वैसे करके सब अपने अपने नाम के कुछ epithets और adjectives बोलेंगे, और वैसे हम क्लास को वैसे शुरू करेंगे, थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग वे में बनाने का. सिमिलरली अगर कुछ इंजीनियरिंग या कुछ मैनेजमेंट के सब्जेक्ट्स अगर हैं, या कोई लिटरेचर के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, तो हम उससे रिलेटेड कुछ ऐसे गेम्स से स्टार्ट करवा सकते हैं. क्योंकि हमें अगेन कुछ ऐसा उनको प्रेजेंट करना होगा विच इज मोर इंटरेस्टिंग एंड विच इज मोर फ्रूटफुल देन सोशल मीडिया. क्योंकि तभी वी कैन रूल इन द क्लासरूम एक्चुअली. बिकॉज वो
Yes.
डांट के एंड बीइंग क्रैंकी कि ये क्या है, बिकॉज आई हैव ट्राइड ऑल दीज थिंग्स ऑल्सो. डांट के वाट के उससे कुछ नहीं होता है. यू विल अगेन लूज द कनेक्शन विद द स्टूडेंट्स. दे स्टार्ट, hate is a very strong word to say, but they'll start disliking you. It
Mean to
happens.
say
And
to
actually,
disconnect from one thing, they must be connected to something else.
exactly ma'am, exactly. Again,
Yes.
वो सीधी उंगली से घी नहीं निकलता तो उंगली टेढ़ी करनी
हाँ.
पड़ती है वाली चीज है. We have to again incorporate certain, let's just take the another route. If take the another route to get their attention तो हो सकता है. And अगर आप ये पेरेंट्स का भी कंप्लेन होता है कि सोशल मीडिया एंड ऑल्सो nobody can stop these days. कोई किसी को रोक नहीं सकता है. Only we have to make them understand that how you can be productive. even if you are using, because as ma'am, you mentioned about your daughter, even my students also, they are giving examples that they are learning it from reels. And
Yes,
which
yes.
is not wrong actually. मतलब हम
Yeah.
जमाने के साथ तो हम चल ही रहे हैं, right? अब जमाने के
Yeah,
साथ चलना है
you
तो
can see
yeah.
one thing, the very dull portion of the student, we can say, जो बहुत ही हम कहते हैं कि dull students होते हैं,
Hmm,
if
hmm.
we expect some kind of practical, some kind of project from
Exactly.
them, ठीक है,
Hmm.
or we know that they will not be able to do that on their own. But the best
Exactly.
part is that they go through the social media, they go through the
Hmm.
reels, YouTube, at least they are copying them, they are mitigating them, they are imitating them,
Exactly.
and they are doing the things. This is the best part.
Exactly.
From zero, at least they are going to one, two, three.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, stand-up comedies. These days, it's very popular, right? So I have asked them, I have given them an assignment कि okay, stand-up comedy class में करनी है, but English में करनी है. Okay,
Okay.
and you cannot, you have to use professional words. You cannot go you cannot have some non-professional stuffs. The another stuff is podcast. Podcast
Yeah.
again, it's very popular. सालों पहले
Hmm.
radio show होता था. अभी podcast
Yes,
is the
yes.
very important thing. So let's have a podcast, but let's have it in English. So हम again हमें वैसी ही pedagogical approach लगाना पड़ेगा जो अभी हमारी society में revolve कर रहा है. So
Yeah,
again, और ऐसा करने से not only our students will enjoy, even we will enjoy. I used to enjoy a lot with
definitely.
my students. Yes, so this
Definitely,
was
definitely.
yeah. This in this way we can drag their attention. Noordeep, ma'am. Yes, I hope I have answered your question.
Definitely, you have answered it very well. So, I think we can wind up. We are getting a lot of messages of thanks to you,
Uh,
right? So, really,
thank
thank you
you.
so much for a wonderful and insightful session. And this self-development beautifully highlighted the importance of inner awareness in the teaching and learning. And the session was truly enriching and intellectually inspiring for all the participants. We sincerely thank you for sharing your valuable knowledge, experience, and perspective with us. And this session has certainly left a meaningful impact on all of us. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much, ma'am.
you. Thank you so much, ma'am. If some of us can switch on our video, so I'll take a snapshot for a memory, if it's possible for all of the some of the participants at least.
So the participants, if it is possible for you, then please turn on your cameras.
And keep
I
aside this
will,
thought that we are
yeah.
in pajamas or t-shirts, whatever.
No, no, no.
If you can switch.
From my
Yeah.
side, the problem is I just, when I joined, I just clicked it to not allow. And now it is not
Okay.
allowing. I have
Okay.
to rejoin
Okay.
for that thing.
Okay. Okay.
My
Okay.
mistake, I clicked on not allowed. So it
Oh,
is not allowing me to turn on the camera right
oh,
now.
no issues, ma'am. No issues. No issues. Okay, I can
Yeah.
see many cameras are switched on. I'll just take a snapshot. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
And
I
all the
really love,
participants, yeah, definitely complete,
yeah,
ma'am.
no, no, just like I really love today's experience. I really love the way how we had this conversation. And thank you so much to the entire team of Khalsa College for organizing this. And a special thanks to obviously Shrikant Kalurkar sir.
Definitely. Thank you
Let's
to
hope to
Shrikant sir.
collab in future sessions as well.
Definitely,
Sure, ma'am.
definitely. We will be collaborating. And really, everyone has enjoyed this session also. And really, a great thanks to you. Right.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
participants, please, you can see there are two links in the chat box for feedback session of the first session and feedback form for the second session. Do fill these feedback forms. These has been shared in the group also, I think. Right, Ripin ma'am? Is it shared in the
Uh,
group also?
we will be sharing it shortly, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Okay, then just fill those all these feedback forms. And tomorrow we will be again meeting at 6 p.m. You all please join at 5:55 so that we can start at the time. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening.